Let's go live. Go live. All right, live. This thing says that I'm live, and I heard some sound. Post it in the comments there if you guys could actually hear me. Yeah, you can hear me because I can hear myself in the computer here now. I don't know exactly what I did wrong because I don't know exactly what I did right. I just played with it and pressed all the buttons, and eventually I think there's sound. Right? Let's see. This is the live. There we go. Now you guys can hear me. All right. Should I turn that off? Let's see. Yeah, this is probably distracting, right? Boom. Let's turn it off. Plus, we don't want to waste energy because we are energy conscious people, right? Right? All right. So, how are you guys doing out there? How many? Let me see. Do we have a thing? Do we have a page where it tells us the stats? Who's here? Who's not here? Where are we? Open a new window. So I'm gonna open this a new window, right? Okay, where are you? Here we go. Open link a new window. Then I'll be able to read your comment. Come on. Oh, that's right. That's for the other. I see. That's okay. So YouTube has changed the way this platform works, so that's why I seem a little lost, more than usually lost. There's been a new update to the computer, right, to the OS. That's why I'm a little bit lost to new phone too. So that's why I almost lost my drone while I was in Puerto Rico. It's just crazy. Yeah. All right. So what are you guys doing on a Sunday night? You guys know what I'm doing. I'm struggling to go live. There's 178 people watching. Woo! How do you... Oh, yeah, there it is. There's where it says. New Zealand. What's the blinking lights back to your left? That's the modem, right? Where the signal's coming in, the internet, and then you guys are coming out there. There we go. We'll hide that one. So now when you guys comment something nasty, it gives me a link right there to just hide it. So message automatically held for review, hidden by Jehu Garcia. That's pretty cool. There we go. Do you lift? Did someone really ask me if I lift? New Zealand, welcome. Looking for batteries. What? Why are you looking for batteries? Just click on the links on my thing. That's a big modem. No. The modem is the little one. This big box here. This is my hard drive. That's where I keep like 14 terabytes of video that I've shot. Yeah, it looks like a NAS, the network attached storage device, right? How do you make this window bigger? You guys are typing way too fast. And I used to be able to open up that window like really big. Now, I don't know how to do it. Hold on, let me figure it out here. Message my participant. I'm struggling because it's a tiny little window. And your message is just like, just going really fast, right? Sorry, let me... Hide chat? No, I don't want to hide chat. I want to make it bigger. Where's the other window? Okay, maybe this one is bigger. Maybe I should look it up here. ¿Hablas español? Yes, I speak Spanish. Sí, hablo español. Click the and select pop out. Pop out? Is there a pop? Oh my God! This chat is going really fast. Okay. Emojis? Super chats? Or what is this? No, this is a super chat over there. Oh, pop out chat. That's, oh, there you go. Whoever suggested that, thank you. Pop out, Pixies, Pixie 6, Pixie 6. Is that, yeah, thank you for doing that. Pop out, yeah, everybody's pop out. Cool, there we go. Now I can open up. You would think that I would know how to do this, right? But it seems like every time I just struggle more and more. So, anyways, what people are asking about Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was pretty crazy. It was 6 days nonstop. If I wasn't out there shooting, I was editing at night. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. There is stuff broken everywhere. There's people without power everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're on the island. There was people there. It seems some areas seem like they're okay, but they're not. You know, like lights aren't working, street lights. You know, it's like it's a big mess to go through major intersections because people are just like creeping by. You know, it's a big, you know, and it's not the U.S. People like, you know. Traffic laws are more like guidelines over there to begin with, but more so now that there's no lights. So it's a different world. I've never been there. It makes you appreciate a bunch of stuff that you have over here, but it also makes you appreciate a lot of stuff they have over there. You know, people over there are very appreciative. You know, that's the thing that I figure out. Yeah, I want to go again so that, you know, so that we can help more people. And I really hope that Javier is able to keep going. It's a lot of work. He's taking in a lot, like, you know, taking over this thing. You know, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. You got to go and find these people. And there's everything. You know, there's people that can afford stuff. They just need the info. They just need to be shown how to do it. There's a lot of people that have nothing. That's a lot of, you know, and those are harder to get because you got to go way over there where they live and there's no roads. The cables are all, you know. And so, yeah, you know, unfortunately I can't. There's, you know, I can make so many more videos about that, but I have to get over that because now tomorrow I'm going to be super busy with the next project, right? And so that's always the physics. Physics. Okay, so physics. Yeah, I don't know why I was trying to pronounce the P. Yeah, I hope that you guys keep helping Javier, and I'm gonna do as much as I can. Well, from this side, I'm gonna keep designing systems. Right? There's a bunch of ways that we can do it, and try to figure out the best one so that we can send them. And you know, I think we have to kind of. There are ways to send stuff if you organize, you know, like if we organize and send like a big container or something, you know. But I think, you know, it's like one of those things that you just gotta exploit like Amazon and just send stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the quickest way to do it because I can order something today and he can have it there, you know. Not like here where you have it the next day or in a couple days. It's like you'll have it there like, you know, in 5 days or next week or whatever. And that's how we can do it right now, right? So I want to kind of keep doing that just to get in there. Right now we need solar panels because the panels that we were supposed to deliver there, they might not show up. They couldn't put them in a boat in time and send them there. So now I don't know if the company's gonna want to still donate them because we couldn't show me deploying them, you know, giving them to people and stuff, and that's what they were kind of looking for. I don't know. It was still up in the air, so we might not have all those panels that we originally thought we were going to have. So, you know, everything's not going smoothly. Let's see if I can read some of your comments here. Woo! You guys are putting a lot of comments. Sorry if I skip yours, just repost it so that I can get to it because I'm gonna start right here where I can read them. By the way, I want to thank Mike Williams. Thank you for the $50. I'm gonna put that into the Puerto Rico project so that we can send more solar panels. That's half of a you know, that's half of a 100 watt solar panel that I can put onto that. Thank you for that. Chicago in the house. All right, welcome. Free Frank V asking if I'm Puerto Rican. No, I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm actually Mexican. Never been to Puerto Rico. Never thought that I would go to Puerto Rico. I mean, just because I'd never, you know, it wasn't like a particular place in the earth that I wanted to go. But, you know, when they don't have power and I can do something about power, I'm like, I'm there. Let's do this, right? And so I think, yeah, it could have been anywhere, really. It could have been any place. Someday I might find myself going to Africa or South America or some other remote areas where we can help do some stuff, you know, if to bring energy to people. It's one of those things that people don't think about it because we have it here. It's hard to think about life without it. It's hard to think about life for those people that don't have it. And I know, you know, Africa's different. They don't have it right now. They've never had it. They can manage, right? But like with Puerto Ricans, they've always had it. They're just like you and me, except for all of a sudden, you know, some storm comes and then you don't have it. So that was a weird thing that to have there, and that's why I was like, well, I gotta do something. I gotta use my talent to go and do some good. So okay, I know I keep saying I'm gonna read your your messages. Tennessee's in the house. I'll certainly help with the battery packs and solar cells for a school project. Thanks for the inspiration. Thank you for watching this stuff. Why are you laughing? There's Crystal over there laughing at me for some reason. Ivica también suena bien. I don't know what that means. Aloha for modern off-grid DIY. Argentina is also in the house. Wow. What do you do for a living other than master YouTuber? That's all I'm doing these days. 2 years ago, I decided to go all in, struggled for a long time, and now the pendulum is swinging the right way, my way, right? Finally. But I'm still, you know, digging myself out of like a debt, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's crazy, but it's starting to work. I'm good. I'm not complaining. I'm actually enjoying doing this. I paid $250 for a ticket to Powerwall Bootcamp 2018. We might have to do it, man. You're not the only one that's asking for that. Definitely. I think I'm not ready. I think I have to. I owe you guys a bunch of videos, including my setup that I have built here. And of course, mine is all kinds of different setups because the batteries are always changing and the equipment is always changing, and I owe a bunch of people a bunch of like shout outs over all the equipment that they sent me, you know what I mean? It's getting kind of crazy, but we're gonna get through it. We need a video of your solar panels and solar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I owe you guys that. You were visiting just a few minutes away and I missed it. Cesar Omar. Oh yeah, you should have been watching. I'm always announcing everything that I'm doing. I'm always announcing even the things that I shouldn't be announcing. I actually get in trouble quite a bit from oversharing stuff, and so I have to work on that. I was in Africa 3 years ago working on a 5 megawatt solar system for Annobon Island. Wow. That's pretty cool. We'd love to go and see it. What is the best way I could go about getting batteries for free? You start hitting up all the recyclers, all the stores, anything. If you're here in America, by law, they like any electronics and a lot of like the stores, you know, like have to set up a thing. If they sell electronics and they sell batteries, oh man, my battery's dying on the camera. You have to set, oh, I have another one here. Places where people can return the old batteries, and sometimes they have to pay for those to be picked up or taken away so they can be processed correctly. So a lot of those people, a lot of those places are willing to give them to you for free. There are a ton of people that are getting batteries for free. You know, I get a lot of criticism for doing that video two years ago now, or I don't know how long ago, the $300 Powerwall. The truth is that you can get all those materials for free. You only have to buy like stuff. It just depends how much work you want to do. I know running around across town trying to look for sources of batteries, you know, a few here, a few there. That takes time, you know, and time is money. So yeah, when you argue that time is money, then it's not free, right? But with very little monetary in exchange, you can find batteries, and I know a lot of people that are doing it. And so yeah, you can do that. Let's see. A lot of countries doing small hydroelectric. So the UK, it's in the house too. Ian, what's the name of the TV program you're in? I'm not currently in a TV program right now. I am shooting one that is going to, it's for Discovery Network, but I don't know, it's not going to air. It's just a pilot. We don't know if it's going to become a series yet. It just depends how good of a job I do, I guess. That will determine that. So I, you know, no pressure, I guess. Can we get a visit in San Diego? Yes, come to visit us. I'm not always there, but if I'm there, I'll say hi. But you know, UUS has people there all the time. Oman in the house. This message is withheld. Yeah, because there's a lot of, let's see here. My e-skateboard from physics says, my e-skateboard has been 18655 thanks to the 18650 community. All right. You should share some pictures with us and video. Upload a video and send me a link. You should do a world tour and see what everyone around the world is doing for solar. Yes, I think I should do. I will jump on the opportunity to do that if it was here. Let's see. Richard from NES Homes has a great PoE DC low voltage lighting system. Would be great for getting lighting system up on batteries and solar. And then this guy gives me his phone number. It's awesome for emergency place. Oh yeah, we should do that. What about YouTube demonetize? Yeah, YouTube is demonetizing a bunch of our videos for no reason. And sometimes they don't do it like permanently, although I do have videos that have been permanently demonetized even after a person checks them. And I don't know which one of the rules I violated or don't meet or it's breaking. But most of the time they don't. They just like demonetize it and then they expect you to like, you know, fight it back. And then that takes a few days and then and then someone sees it and it's like, oh yeah, no, never mind. There's no reason this for it to be monetized. But by that time, all the views, you know, they kind of died or whatever. So they're suggesting that I work on a video, upload it, and then don't publish it, leave it there, and then get triggered, get demonetized, and then fight it. And then once you figure that it's good, then make it public. I mean, that's their best. That's their suggestion. Make a bunch of content, then wait a week before you can make it live. Wait until we screw up, and then, you know, once you call us on it, and then we sort it all out, then you can, you know, it's like, it's dumb. It's crazy. But that's what is happening. Okay. Pull up in New York, says Marlone. I have the video on my channel. Oh, physics says that. Oh, send me a link. Send me a link to JHoodJag35. Oh, Jesus. Hey. There's a lot of people outside for some reason. Someone has a party. Mexico's in the house. I got an IMAX V6 and can only test one cell at a time. Is there a way to test more at the same time? Yes, you'll need to get more IMAX chargers or get an Opus. Join the DIY Powerwalls group in Facebook. They have a lot of info. There's a lot of people there that are testing, you know, crazy amounts of batteries, multiple batteries, you know, hundreds, sometimes hundreds in a day. And they're doing them using those, right? So they have which ones are the best and all that stuff. I was going to get into that because I needed to get some to send them to Puerto Rico so they can start doing, right? But I think we have access to battery packs that are put together already. So maybe that's not going to be the way to go. Of course, they're always going to get free batteries, and they can test them and build their own packs and stuff. But let's see. Cesar Omar Posada Garcia Satamusic says, Team Puerto Rico. Just finished it today. Quality was bad due to not noticing video setting. Oh, okay. Physics. Okay. Send it. Send me a link. Did you get your play button? Yeah. No, I haven't gotten my play button. I haven't. The way it works, they send you a message where then you can ask for your play button. I haven't gotten my message, so I haven't even given the opportunity, the chance, the being allowed to ask for my play button. So I don't know if that's normal, but I wouldn't be surprised that YouTube doesn't want to give me a play button. I don't know why I would say that, but it just seems that way. I don't know. I have 4 homemade solar system on top of my house. I'm saving money, but what can I do to make it better? 4 homemade solar systems. I don't know. You would have to give us more info on that. Put more systems? Maybe they're too small. If they're too small, then you need to put bigger ones. Where can I convert my Toyota Prius 2005 Hydro to fully electric in New York City? I don't know. That's a lot of work. And that's a lot of engineering, especially in the software side. So I don't know anybody that's successfully done that. I'm not a fan of the Prius because, well, there are fully electric cars that you don't have to do all of that stuff. But I'm not against it. I know I'm just not. I don't think I'll ever own a Prius. So that's why I don't know much about it. But it can be done. It's just a lot of work. When you talk about hacking a car, especially doing like high-level hacking, sort of like what you're saying, it's a lot of work. And it requires a lot of skills that I don't have. And so for me, it's like a huge barrier, you know, and I don't know anybody that can just whip up some like programs and stuff. You would think I would, but I don't. I don't have any. There's a lot of people that say they can do it and stuff, but I just never hooked up with any of them and stuff. Can you review those red 18650 holders with the terminals you showed us a while back? Oh yeah, I owe you guys that video also. I will do it as soon as I can. What company will take the leap and make current gas cars into EVs? A normal thing to take in an upgrade. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's too much work. There's a ton of parts. And I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if a modern car is worth putting that much more money into it, right? A car that's already, just think about it. A car that's worth $30,000, you know, it's like a lot of that, a lot of the value of that car is all the work that went into it just to put it together. Now you're gonna spend more time taking all that equipment out and then redesigning a whole new equipment, then putting it, and then you're spending $30,000 to put in a $30,000 car. It just doesn't make sense, especially if the car is depreciating really quickly. So that's not how it's going to work. It's got to work where a brand new car gets to be electric from the ground up. It's designed that way because then it's going to go a lot quicker, a lot faster. So these conversion things only make sense when you're doing it in classic cars that are worth more, that are gaining value as the time goes along, not cars that are losing value right now. And so that's why I think that's going to go a different route. Let's see. Oh, I guess it's a Christmas party outside. That's why they're all the ruckus outside. What company? No, I already read that one. That's pretty good. I've had 2 cells overheat on the Opus, 140 degrees Fahrenheit out of 70 or so cells. That's pretty good in my opinion. He's answered somebody else. I don't know what that Coretian said. I'm making 2 UPS solar generators from your video. Can I plug number 1 into the back of number 2 and only plug the solar panel to number 2? You know, I thought about doing that, but you obviously not gonna want to do that. You can, pretty sure you can, but it wouldn't be the smart thing to do because that would be very, very inefficient, and you would be losing a bunch of power. So it's already kind of a, oh man, my battery, you guys see that? The battery here? Yeah, I gotta change that. Give me a few seconds. Here's the battery. No. And we're back. Are we back? Come on. There we go. We back? Oh, Jesus. I don't know if we came back. Everything's frozen on this thing here. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry. I just, the computer took forever to show me that I was back. Okay, here we go. I don't remember what I was answering. Oh, yeah. Don't do that. It's very inefficient. Just plug in. We're using cheap equipment. That MPPT solar charge controller is not the best. It's probably not even an MPPT. It's like, I'm gonna test it with a higher quality one eventually. I have my suspicions that it's gonna be terribly inefficient, and so you're already starting with cheap, inefficient equipment. Don't overdo it by using like more inefficient stuff. Just do the extra work and connect them right. Either split them there or use a separate one, or I don't know. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Do you think that you will do another solar DIY video but bigger? Yes, I have. I need to do the one for the full house, right? Those were just little ones, right? Because I needed to get those done because the Puerto Rico situation thing. But I do owe you one where I explain my system, and my system's not full house yet, right? Because I didn't want to invest that much time. For those of you that criticize me that I wasn't doing the right thing on my roof because I got to think about the landlord and all that stuff. To give you an idea, like this house is in foreclosure right now. I'm renting here, and this is not the first time this house is on foreclosure. So the guy could potentially lose this house at any day, and then we're gonna have to move because we're just renters here, and so all it takes is for the bank to show up here and be like, hey, your landlord doesn't own this house anymore, get out. You know what I mean? I know we have some rights as renters. They can't just throw us out like that, and so I'm not worried about it. But that's why I'm not spending a bunch of time and effort installing equipment here, because I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be out of here. The plans is to be gone, out of here. There's my address is everywhere online, and there's a lot of you guys that are starting to show up, so I gotta go somewhere else, and then kind of keep my my stuff a little bit private. What's he doing?
He picked up something from your pants.
Oh, Jesus. That's not good. So anyways, that's why I haven't finished mine. So I do owe you guys a video. I need to find a place where I can install a full size system, and then do it. But I haven't been able to find that yet. I don't know where I'm gonna do it. Can I turn what? Oh yeah. Sorry about that. The overlay stuff when it came back. Let me see. Turn it off. Come on. The button is somewhere in here. Oh, there we go. How about now? I think that should have done it. If not, we'll see. Maybe you could buy in the foreclosure auction if you find a local. I don't want to own this house because everyone knows where I live. And as I get more popular, it's going to become more and more a problem, I do get quiet criticism and hate. All I need is for some idiot to like take it upon himself to come down here and try to pick a fight or try to intimidate. It's like that. Unfortunately, that is the reality that we live. So I don't see myself living in the same place. So that's why this house is not a candidate for me to buy. If I'm gonna buy a house, it's gonna be somewhere else where no one knows where it is, It's just the transition from being a private person to now be, you know, like someone that's people know. It's weird, you know, like it's I have to embrace it if I want to keep doing this thing. And so unfortunately there's some things that you have to give up. Let's see, the little green MPPT is a boost converter designed for e-bike batteries of 24 to 50 volts and charge from 24 to... Yep, that is correct, Andy. Maybe you could buy... No, that's the thing. Vancouver, Canada here. Do you know the laws of selling battery packs? No, but they're probably... It's hard to sell them. People usually don't. There's a lot of laws. You can't... I don't know selling, but shipping. So you can sell, I think, if you can somehow get them and get them to your customers. I don't think there's laws. I mean, there's laws for everything, right? I just don't know if they're really restrictive. Especially you're in Canada. I moved from Southern California to Arizona. Best move ever. Boom. Sure thing. Thanks for sharing all this info. Does anyone have contacts in Tesla? I need a job, says Dylan with. Yeah, there's a lot of people that work at Tesla. Someone here is probably, yeah, someone in here probably has contacts at Tesla or work. I'm sure a lot of Tesla employees watch my videos, so there's probably someone in here. What brands of inverters do you recommend? I mean, there's all kinds of them, right? The ones that I don't know, I haven't used yet, are all those Outback and stuff. But Schneider's, I even played around with those other one, right? Those white ones. What are those? Those are Magna Signs. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I think every brand has good quality. I think you just can't expect to pay like $300 for like a 4 kilowatt inverter and then be like good quality, right? It just doesn't work that way. But I know there's a lot of people having, you know, good luck with those Chinese ones, which are, you know, not quite $300, but they're cheap. They're, you know, $600, $700, $1,000 for a 5-6 kilowatt charger and inverter, and they, yeah, they do have somewhat, you know, they don't break right away. I don't know if they break after a year or two, but I've seen them. They're popular, so I don't know. I have to keep in contact with someone that has one of those, and then, you know, just be able to figure out how often they fail. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Paul asked a question. All right, I can't find it. If it's a good question. Some people are asking about the 12-volt issue and lithium batteries. I owe you guys a video about that, and I'm trying to do more research about it. But the simple question about that is, how can you make a 12-volt battery to power 12-volt equipment using lithium? And the answer is you don't, because it doesn't work. Because 3S, you know, of 3.7 volt lithium doesn't work, and 4S, it's, you know, 3S is too little or too low of voltage, and 4S is too high of a voltage. So the only way to do it is with lithium iron phosphate. So that's the only way to do 12 volts, and 4S and the 3.3 volt chemistries works really well. So as of right now, that's the only way to do it. So with like lithium cobalt oxide chemistries and the 3.7 chemistries, the only way to do it is to go higher voltage. So not use 12 volts, but use 24, 36, and 36 actually works pretty good. And then 48, right? You can do them on 12 or 13S. But I know the problem is that, you know, 12 volt equipment is there and it's cheap because it's so abundant when it comes to inverters and solar charge controls, all the stuff. It's just, yeah, there's no easy answer. And you know, lithium iron phosphate is a thing that is kind of phasing out. It's just, at least from my perspective, it's not, you know, we're getting a bunch of these other batteries. It's just the technology's safer, but it's just the energy density and all that stuff, it's not there, right? So basically, what's pushing the battery technology are these guys, right? And so these can't use lithium iron phosphate because it had to be twice the size just to get the same amount of battery. So the energy density and the power density is what driving the battery technology right now. And so that's why lithium iron phosphate is going to be phased out, because it's going to be something that's rare. It's something that, you know, there's more phones in the planet there are people. So there are more of those batteries in the planet by far. And so that's the technology that is going to be more abundant, and it's going to be already to us. It's more accessible. So we have to work on that, right? So the only other thing is maybe a DC to DC, or we have to wait until the into like maybe the automotive industry will change, instead of lead acid batteries, and then they start doing like lithium batteries, which means that they would either do a 11.1, you know, system in their cars, and everything else switches to that. I see that more. I see that happening one day, because I don't see why you would have to keep using lead acid batteries when there's all these cheap lithium batteries, right? So maybe that's going to happen one day, and hopefully sooner than later. Jehu the Homesteader says, Marty Jackson, you never know, man. Travis says, Jehu, talk about the cheap BMS for a 30S 3P setup. Current options are expensive. Yes, unfortunately they are. So the only way, you know, I like those hoverboard batteries because they have the BMS built in, and it's like, it's small BMSs for a small pack, and you just parallel them. Yeah, it's my neighbor, I guess. So for 30S, so 30 in series 3P, yeah, you would have to do the same thing. You would do the 10S 3P. There's 10S 3P BMSs, and then do 3 of those in series. Although people say you can't use the BMS in series, I still don't understand why you couldn't. Especially the really simple ones, like the ones that are on the hoverboard, where all they're doing is checking individual cell group voltages, and then whichever one hits a threshold, then it actually disconnects the main MOSFETs, right? So disconnects the battery. Oh man, battery is low on this thing too. Let's see, how are we in time? I wouldn't say I wasted a bunch of time trying to figure out. Oh yeah, I started streaming 37 minutes ago. Let me get a battery for this guy. See, it says battery low, and so that I can keep going for a little bit more, because yeah, I wasted a bunch of time just trying to get on. By the way, Christopher Grady, thank you for the $25. Excellent work. Started using H50 in 2012. 2013. Wow. On solar deployment. You are an old-timer when it comes to 18650s. You have done more to evangelize the reuse of those resources than anyone in the market. Thank you. Yeah, I try to do that. It just doesn't make sense to throw stuff away. Let me get a battery for this guy. Ah, sorry, boy. Where is it? Where is the thing, boys? Oh, I can be this battery. All right. All right, here's a little bit of history. Back in the Jack 35 days, we used to use lithium batteries to make these. These are for rigs, for shooting video and stuff. They have quarter 20 holes here. And I keep a couple of them. And that's what we used to use. So anyways, they still work. 12 volts. They're pouch cells, so lithium cobalt oxide. They're basically lipos. And each one has their own BMS inside. And all you have to do is just put a, let's see, is it gonna work? Come on. It doesn't show that. Come on, man. It has a like little 6 to 18 volts, 1.5. Come on. So it has a thing here that then tells you it's changed from internal battery to external. Oh, there it is. External battery. It just changed. Okay, so I need to just have that. All right. Now that that is done, let's go back to reading some of your messages here. So let's see. Do you have to use a BMS for a project like the UPS one? I already ordered one UPS and I have like 100 batteries, the 18, but I don't have any BMS. It just depends. Like, you don't have to use a BMS. I've proven that, not just me, a bunch of people have proven. If you are willing to do a bunch of work building your batteries, you know, the right way. Basically, all your groups have to be exactly the same size in capacity. If one is different than the other side, then what it's going to do, that's what one's going to kill your other one when it reaches the bottom. So you have to bottom balance your cells if you don't have a way to stop the charge at the very bottom, or you have to use some kind of device that disconnects the battery when it hits a threshold. Like once your cells are like all at 3 right at the bottom, or if you top balance or whatever, you can do it, but it's, you know, you'd have to set up some systems. You have to build your battery the right way, and you have to use some systems that will step in there automatically and stop overcharging and under discharging your battery. So yeah, if you're able to do that, you don't need a BMS, but it's just so easy now, I think, to put a BMS. Now they're becoming, you know, they're decent quality, and then the price is not that expensive, right? You can buy a bunch of them. So you can do a bunch of packs that are, if you can't find a big BMS that will serve your thing, then you can split up your battery into, you know, smaller groups that you can then parallel, and you can BMS those smaller groups using a cheap BMS, $10, $12 BMSs, you know, they kind of work. So unless you understand batteries really well, I'd say, yeah, don't do it without a BMS. You know, I was crazy enough to do it for a long time, but I kind of geeked out on batteries, and I understand that not everyone is willing to be, you know, to go that deep into batteries as me. And so now that everyone is getting into, I'm like, do BMS. That's just the easier thing now to do. Let's see. Oh man. Okay, so that just jumped. I was gonna read that one. How much is your Powerwall setup? It's hard to say because, well, one, I have a bunch of batteries that are not connected yet, and in the middle of doing it and connecting them. But I don't have a huge system. I have like a 12 kilowatt system or something like that, kilowatt hour of storage. My solar panels is that $1,200 worth of panels and the little inverters and stuff. So I don't have a huge system. Again, I don't own this home, and I don't know how long I'm here until, and so that's why I haven't gone crazy and just, you know, and install one. Let's see. I got a 10S BMS for $10. This is physics. Rob Scales, it says, I want to buy one of those shirts. Where can I get one? Oh, yes. My merch. Go to this video. Go any video. There's a section on the bottom with all kinds of links. There's a merchandise one that I made, and I have a bunch of shirts there. A friend of mine set it up so that, you know, we can start. And right now I'm giving all the proceeds to him for helping me set it up. But eventually, you know, I'm hoping that it's going to be a thing that we can do. You know, if we're like have cool projects and we're doing cool projects, you know, it'd just be a good way to, like, you know, help and support some of those projects. It's, you know, I know that not everyone wants to buy something or just send me money, you know, to help out and stuff. But some might want to buy a shirt if you like the design or whatever. Hold on, let me just. I have a box of about 100 used 10 amps or charge controls if you want to put something together for Puerto Rico. Oh, okay. Someone wants to donate a bunch of solar chargers. Woo! Thank you for that. Let's see. Coricium says most 12-volt devices will cut out when voltage drop to 10 volts, and the high voltage is usually around 14.8. That is true. If that is true, then you know you can work with a lot of CPC. Yeah. So at 10 volts at 3S, you're leaving about 30%. I did the math. I think you're leaving about 30% of the battery unused at 10 volts because it's usually like 10.5, at least with the little inverter that I was trying to use. And so that's too much battery to just leave there unused, right? That means you have to build your battery about 30% larger to be able to get that capacity. You could do it that way. That's a cheap way to do it, and then you go easy on your batteries. They last for a long time. You never, you know, stress them out or whatever. That's always my motto, right? Bigger batteries always better. But that's the problem. The lead acid, they didn't have such a wide range of voltage drop from fully discharged to fully charged, right? And so lithium coal oxide has, and that's why lithium iron phosphate, it's also around the same, from, you know, 3.4 to 3 volts. I mean, that's it. You know, that's all the variance that you have between fully charged and fully discharged. So it's a challenge. There are definitely some devices that have a wider range of voltage, and especially there's some that you can program and stuff. Those are the best ones, because then you can totally use your battery and specify which voltage you want or whatever. Let's see, I made a lithium riding lawnmower. Works great. Charged for 1 hour, mow for 4 hours. I can't I can't talk on the phone while working. I can talk on the phone while working. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. Jehu, I have family over there too. I'm also helping out the area. That's Puerto Rico, hopefully, right? Or, I mean, is that what you're talking about? You need to isolate the biggest use appliances, as most times electric stoves or air cons are not ideal to put on power volts. Yeah, that's one of the ways that you can do it. You can run everything else and then just leave those in the grid. And that works for really for here, the main, you know, for cities, US cities, because, you know, you can't really disconnect. So you have to remain connected. So might as well use that, use the grid as a backup, and then use it to run all the equipment that is just not economically feasible to run on batteries, right? You could do that and then eventually work your way up to the bigger battery, where now you can run everything off and then put a charger and then use solely the grid solely as a backup. I think that's what I am going to end up doing, where I have my system that entirely runs my house, but that I'm going to build into, but then have a charger that is always on, and it's always set to charge the batteries. If the batteries discharge too much, a certain threshold, then it'll charge them from the grid. That's the only energy that I will ever buy in the future once I set up this system. It's just whenever it's rainy for 2 weeks straight and there's not enough sun, or whenever I had, you know, family over and we just happen to use 3 times more energy that month than we're used to, right? And, you know, I have friends come over and they'll have electric cars and we all discharge my batteries one day. Then that's the only time that we're gonna use the grid. The grid is gonna purely become the backup, because why not? They're there. Let's see. How much is a BMS and where can I get batteries? Justin, look at the links underneath all of my videos. There's links to batteries there. BMSs, it all depends, right? But there you can get some for, you know, $10 usually. That is for a like a 100 watt hour battery, you know. So you can't do like a 10 kilowatt battery and get a $10 BMS for that, right? That's more like $600. that BMS that I have listed there in my links is for Batrium. Batrium is it's a highly scalable system. You could do a small setup, you know, 2-3 kilowatt, or you can do 100 kilowatt or 1 megawatt battery, megawatt hour battery, right? So that's a cool BMS, but that's gonna run you like $600 for, you know, like somewhere like 10 to 20 kilowatt hour system. So that's where we're at with that. And I owe you guys that video also. I have set it up in my house, but it's only half of it set up. The other half of the battery's not connected because I haven't installed it and I haven't had time to do it. But I will do it, and I will show you how to install that and how to run it, how to set it up. It's you know, it's not the easiest thing, but you know, if you're tech savvy, which I'm not, I'm actually terribly with technology. You will be able to figure out something. You know, they walk me through it. So now that I had someone walk me through it, I could sort of explain that on video, and I will try my best to do it so that people could understand how to set it up. Planning on adding solar with lithium batteries to my motorhome. Most use lithium iron, yeah, phosphate, right? But I'd like to use the surplus Tesla Smart lithium ion modules. Will this work? Yes, you'll have to use 48 volt inverters like the Schneider ones, because that's actually, so the Tesla modules are not really 48 volts, they're more like 55 volts. But the Schneider inverters, they allow for that voltage range, so they work. You know, it's like, it's close, like it's almost right there where you're, you know, at the limit of what the equipment could do, but they do work, and it's cool because it runs more efficient when you have the DC voltage higher. It just works. Yeah, you totally could do it in an RV situation or you know, scenario. Let's see, I'm building a battery pack out of 20 700B batteries instead of the 18650. They're slightly bigger and better. How do I know which cable goes to the B1, B2, B3? Are those the ones closest positive N? I don't understand what you're talking about, Joel. Yeah, is that you're talking for the BMS? It just depends on the BMS. I don't know which cables you're talking about. Please specify it, or, you know, elaborate more on your thing. Solid state battery tech is looking exciting. Let me know when it's here. Until I can have it and I can buy it and it's cheap, it's just speculation. Let's see. Electric boats, says ESA Network. Boats? Yeah, there are electric boats. They're difficult because their continuous cycle is like crazy, right? So you need a big giant battery. Let's see. If possible, do an episode on electric lawnmower conversion in the future. Yeah, should be able to do it. If this guy is from Golfito, Costa Rica. All right. Did you hear about Angry Grandpa dying? No. Who's Angry Grandpa? The YouTuber Angry Grandpa? Or you're talking about someone that we know? Who's Angry Grandpa? Jay, who gets some lithium battery sellers in Canada? Yeah, I would love to accept. Actually, I did have someone that contacted me once. I get contacted by a bunch of people that says I have a bunch of cells and how do you sell them? And then, you know, I'm like, okay, let's do it. If you put them somewhere where you can sell them, you know, put them somewhere where like we can work out a deal and, you know, I can get some commissions or something, you know. And then it's just a lot of people don't come back and do it. A lot of people, I say, okay, you say you got batteries. Okay, send me some samples so that I can check them out, because I don't want to push batteries that are not good, you know. It's my reputation on the line. And then I never hear from them again. So there's so many different levels of people that are hitting me up all the time and they just don't come through. The ones that you actually get to see when I'm like, these are cool, is because I got to test them and I got to see them and I got to, you know. And so you know, perfect example was that solar guy sent me a bunch of panels, samples, and I tested them. They're good panels and stuff. And then he set up a web store, and then I sent them a bunch of you guys to buy them, and then they buy them. And then, you know, like he wasn't sending them out fast enough. A lot of you guys were having trouble. So then I ended up changing the links because you know, if the guy's not, you know, if he's not taking care of you guys, then I don't want to send them sales. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to support someone that's not taking. And yeah, that guy's never, you know, I've never heard from him again. So, you know, that sort of stuff happens. So, I did have someone in Canada, but again, they didn't, they fell through, you know, somewhere along the way of us getting something together. They didn't send me the batteries. I don't remember what point that happened or whatever. Can you update some of the links? Some of them are sold out. We will. I guess this next week, Tom said that he's gonna bring us a bunch of batteries. Like there's gonna be that we're gonna have more batteries than we know what to do. Apparently, you know, there was big orders that came in from the big solar suppliers or whatever companies and stuff. And so sometimes he's like, I gotta, you know, ship, you know, 50,000 batteries, you know, this week. So, you know, I don't have time to do this DIY stuff. But I think this week he says he's gonna have a bunch of batteries for us. So I will update those as soon as he gives them to me. Save your money for this next week. There's gonna be tons of good batteries. Yeah, that's all I can say at the moment. Did you finish that huge project at the factory? The Giga battery, I think? No, that kind of fell through. We couldn't work out on the details. Yeah, it's just, there were so many problems with that project that I had to walk away. They basically didn't want to pay me, you know, and I didn't want to spend that much time out there because that's all kind of away from my home. And, you know, I kind of gave them a time frame and they couldn't get me the stuff in time. It's just, yeah, it just didn't work out. I was hoping that in the future we were going to be able to get back into that and finish it, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that. As of right now, it's not happening anymore. At least not with, I'm not involved in it, you know. So we'll figure it out. Let's see. Just seen a commercial on electric dirt bikes for 2018. Yeah, those exist. My Boston Electric battery pack is 100% good, says Mr. Jackson. Boston Electric, like those which ones are Boston Electric? Not those, not the medical packs, right? Let's see. What is the future of Tesla, says Angel Nolasco. We don't know. I think it's growth, right? They're doing semi-trucks and roadsters, hypercars now, and then the Model 3s. By the way, have you guys seen a Model 3 out in the wild yet? I haven't, but I've been really busy. Yeah, if any of you guys have a Model 3 and you guys want me to do a review of it, let me know. I still, all the people that I know that will pre-order, they're, you know, they haven't gotten theirs yet, and I don't know till when, right? So if any of you guys out there have one, let me know so I can do a video for everyone to see or whatever. F. Leal says, that's converting the motors to DC and all the lightning to DC wiring fixtures, then use power company grid to charge the batteries when you run down to a certain threshold. Yeah, I think that's my system. That's how I'm gonna design my system. It's gonna run, you know, my batteries are gonna run my house as long as there's enough solar light for my solar system to charge the batteries. But for some reason, some exception, I either use too much power or there's not enough light, then the energy that I need is going to come from a charger, a battery charger that is going to be connected to the grid 100% of the time. And it's just going to be automatically. It's so easy. Like my battery charger that I have is just set like whenever battery hits a threshold, it just starts charging, you know. So that's really easy to use it that way. What do you think about saltwater batteries? I don't know too much about them. I know that they're large format, and I think they're gonna play a role in, you know, in grid level battery storage. I think. I don't know. I mean, that's if the lithium one. If we have trouble, you know, manufacturing enough lithium to supply all the demand. But if they can, you know, supply enough or make enough, I think maybe not. But as of right now, I think that's yeah, they might play a role as of right now. Let's see. We can't even ship them to north on the border because the shipping restriction on lithium on airplanes. Jimmy says, yeah. That is a problem. You can ship them. It's just you have to. Yeah, it's really tough. You got to have a bunch of like training. You have to have a lot of certification to do it. I know Tom said it took him a long time and a lot of money. Long time and a lot of money. Okay, one single aspect of it, just to give you an idea. You got to put your number, your telephone number on all the packages with batteries you send. If any of these agencies ever calls that number, and if you don't answer, I think it's like a $25,000 like fine if you don't answer when they call. So if you're shipping a bunch of batteries, that means you have to have someone on the phone there, just like. In fact, I think they're like hiring some service to do it because you can't afford to miss that call. Because if it's on you, if you miss it, if they call, you miss it, and they try to charge you, it's $25,000 right that goes off the door, right? So I think you pay for service or something. It's just those are the levels of like craziness when it comes to shipping batteries, right? And so unless you're like doing it day in day out, sort of like what Tom is doing, then it's not. You can't do it. You can't meet all the requirements, right? So. There are ways to ship batteries, just you have to be one of those big guys. And, you know, we're lucky that we know Tom, and he's shipping batteries all over the place now. And he's got very, very fair prices. And he loves the DIY community, which is great because he doesn't have to. He could be selling to only the big, you know, the big whales of this world, right? Like the big companies right there, and he's supplying those as much as he can. But even though he's doing that, he still, you know, likes the fact that we're doing grassroots movements, that we're, you know, he didn't have to send a bunch of battery to Puerto Rico to help do this little project, you know, but he, you know, he's one of those guys that likes us. So we have an ally in Tom because he's got batteries, and he's gonna have batteries for the foreseeable future, you know. He's kind of worried that we can't consume enough batteries. And I'm like, hey, if you have batteries, we can find uses for it. I'll help as much as I can find the uses for those batteries. So it's good. Okay, what is going on here? Oh, look, good. Someone, oh no, I was going to say. What are we doing here? Let's see. You need, okay, where is one? I got on late, how many Puerto Rico houses did you wire up? John, I only did one because I was only there for, you know, 6 days. And then the rest of the time I was running around meeting people, doing stuff. And because there was hardly any of the materials that had arrived. I don't know if you saw the earlier videos. I tried to send a bunch of batteries beforehand, but they all got returned. I tried to send a bunch of people, like, how to send stuff there, but not a lot of people did. So what ended up happening was that a lot of you guys were able and willing to donate to me money, right? But then I had to go and buy all this stuff and then ship it there. But shipping to the island takes longer than here. So what happened is that when we got there, stuff was just starting to arrive. I was going to be there from Tuesday to like Tuesday or something. And a lot of the stuff was actually arriving like on Monday, you know, one day before I was heading back. And so we kind of had to just get some stuff together. like everything is still arriving. There's a lot of this stuff that I ordered a long time ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, and it's just arriving now. So, you know, there are gonna be, I think right now, it's a fair thing to say that with what we have, we don't have everything, but that we'll be able to get about 25 to 30 homes wired with one of these systems so that they can do the stuff, so they can, you know, at least have the refrigerator on and some lights and stuff, a fan, because it gets really hot in Puerto Rico. So that's where we're at with that. Let's see. Make your own DIY book on Powerwall. I actually was speaking to someone that made a book, and they have all the info except for the lithium battery implementation, right? And so I'm like, hey, you already have most of this info. I have the lithium info. Let's rewrite your book or rewrite a new version or something, and let's do it. And maybe we'll do it. I don't know. I don't think I can take on a thing like writing a book by myself, but I definitely could partner up with someone and then do it. It seems like, you know, these days writing a book doesn't take a lot of resources, so it's just time and effort, and someone that has the talent to do it, right? I don't know if I have the talent. I can't, you know, I type with the single stroke, you know, so my little 10-minute videos that I make takes a long time to me to write them. Sometimes I don't actually write them. I just write them in my head and just, you know, record the audio onto my camera, and then I cut it all up and stuff, and that's how I kind of operate. How do we contact Tom? Just alarm hookup and eBay. Look at any of the links. All my videos have links. I think I'm gonna have to make a video explaining links, because for some reason a lot of people don't understand or can't seem to find the links, and I don't understand why that is, but I'm gonna have to make a video explaining how the links work, at least in my video. The things over here that used to pop up, those were really good. The annotations were really good, because I would say, like, click right here, you know, click in my eye right here, and I would put like a little thing. Those were really cool, but those are gone now. So now we have cards, those things that pop up on the edge of the screen. But links in the description are the thing that are working right now. Hey Jehu, how's it going? I'm in the process of building my first e-bike battery. I want to make it 52 volts, about 13.5 amp hour. What batteries do you suggest that won't kill the bank but will be decent? 52 volts, 13 amp hour, so that means how many, like, that's like 5 cells, I think, right? Something like that. So that you have to use I don't know, yeah, you'd have to use power cells, because those, your e-bike probably pulls a lot of amps. So yeah, look at Tom. He's got a bunch of them. He's got a bunch of batteries. He's got a bunch of those power tool cells, you know, and those are gonna be pretty cool. Those hoverboard ones are also okay. They're like, I think they're 10 amp max, 5 amp continuous or something like that. So I might give you the amperage that you need to run an e-bike, you know, successfully. Yeah, look at the stuff, and if you can't find it today, wait till next week. Next week he says he's gonna put a bunch of them. So we're gonna have a bunch of batteries. Let's see. Floor awarded 831 million Puerto Rico power construction contract. I heard about that. It's crazy. You know, some crazy amount of money that are going, that they're moving there. So I just hope that it's well spent and that eventually they fix that. If not, I'm helping anyone that I can go off grid, just in case that deal never happens, or if it's the corruption, you know, it ends up in people's pockets instead of you know, instead of the grid and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. If you haven't seen my last piece, that's basically what I'm exploring, is that it's a unique opportunity where the grid is not fighting you to go off grid. They're actually saying, hey, go off grid because we can't give you power, and you know, who knows when we'll be able to give power. So I'd say you take that opportunity. I mean, imagine if 50% of the households in Puerto Rico went off grid now because they don't have power right now. By the time they get the power in there, you know, it would be much harder for people to force them to go on the grid again, right? They would have to, I mean, I don't know, it would be an uphill battle, I think. And so it would be the first time that a U.S. territory would be that way. It would be an island that would be 50% off grid. Imagine that. That would be pretty crazy. And I think a step in the right direction when it comes to the future of energy and renewable energy. Lindsay Horn, thank you for your $20. You definitely will use that for the Puerto Rico project. 10C at 2,000 milliamp hours is 20 amps. Those were the hoverboard batteries. Yeah, but those, I think, they do run kind of hot. I wouldn't run them at that, you know, not continuous anyway. So you want to run them at like 5C, 5 or 5 amp. Or, yeah, I don't know, 10 amps. I think they were not 20 amps. They are, that is 20 amps. I don't think those batteries can do that. Test them. You know, get one, put a load, and then see how hot they get, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that. So you want to run them where you don't kill those batteries, right? Because then you want to be replacing your battery really quickly. So don't do that. Run them easy. Build a bigger battery. That's always how it works. You did one, but 1,000. What? Oh yeah. You did one, but 1,000 follow your example in Puerto Rico. Let's hope so, Reynaldo. Yeah, let's hope so. That there were a lot of people there that day when I did that little seminar. Most of those people didn't have power. A lot of them have a grid tie system. So even though they have a bunch of money and solar systems, they can be using because those without the grid, they're useless, right? So there was all kinds of people there. There were people there that couldn't afford it. There were people there that have the money, have the means. A lot of people that wanted to buy and help others. A lot of people that were looking for help in themselves. It was pretty interesting, and I think it was pretty exciting because I think, you know, Puerto Ricans, I think they're good people and they're resourceful. I think because they've had to be for a long time, right? They've had a country that's been in bad economic shape for a long time now. This is nothing new. This is just like a physical representation of how bad their economics are there. You know, it's like on top of that, it's just everything got destroyed. But they've been having to deal with a tough situation for a long time, and I think they're ready to get out. And a lot of people are just like, you know, and they're so thankful and they're so motivated and motivated to do stuff, you know. It's just they're operating at a different level because they have nothing, you know. And so that was eye-opening for me. Definitely, I'm glad that I went there, and I hope to go there in the future again to do more, to hopefully help more people. Let's see. It was a lot of soldering. Banggood built me a BMS and charger for $80. And yeah, you will have 52 volts, 54, 56 fully charged. I use a 30 amp BMS and 4 amp charger. Really? So Banggood built you like custom one, or you found one there? Hopefully you found one there. Hey Jiho, are you going to have a workshop in Rancho soon? I need an excuse to take a ride up there. Maybe we'll do one. If I do one, it'll probably be down closer to San Diego. Maybe I'd do it at EV West or something. Just because I don't have a place here, you know. Let's see. What books do you recommend for electrical engineering? I don't have a lot of resources of that because I don't learn through books, right? But I do have a couple of books down in the description of this video. And they basically talk about lithium batteries, how to make your own DIY lithium batteries, and the other one's how to do like an RV stuff, right? So those are very like project-specific engineering books, and they talk about some of the basics and stuff, but like nothing like that are more broader, you know, in the subjects and stuff. Everything that I do, I've learned through YouTube and reading forums and stuff, you know. Let's see. One last question. You think BMS is necessary for e-bike battery? Or can I do without one and maybe save some space and headache? Depends. Depends, again, how well you're willing to build a battery. You have to be perfectly matching groups and bottom balance. And if you do that, then you'll be able to run it. And even if you run it all the way down to there's nothing left in the battery, you won't kill those batteries. You'll damage them, right? But you degrade them. Not damage them, degrade them, you know, at a faster rate. But you know, I did that for sort of 4 years or something in my bus, right? I would run them till they wouldn't roll anymore. My car was just like... And I never killed one of those batteries. And even though at the end I did test them, and you know, the damage, the degradation wasn't huge. It wasn't massive, you know. It was like an extra year worth of cycles, I think, right? Or something like that I had used. But they were still on track to like lasting another 10 years or something. I don't know. I made a video about it, and I forgot all the details, but I remember it wasn't bad, you know what I mean? Like it was totally worth it, I think, and it proved that you didn't have to use a BMS. But then again, if you're not a geek, you don't want to get so much into batteries, use BMS. It's the easiest way now to do it, and you don't have to think about it. The system, they just do like the thing that they're designed to do and stuff. 1418 650s in parallel would be 3.7 volts. 14 in series would be 51 nominal. Yep. Get an editor to help you with it. You will get a lot of sales, says Nelson, for the book. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'm going to call him an editor. I think I'm just going to partner up with someone that's already built written a book, so that I can do that. If that doesn't work, then yeah, maybe I'll take it up on my own. But as of right now, you know, I'd rather partner up with someone that already knows. And I'm in talks with someone right now. You know, just, you know, initial talks, nothing too deep. Let's see. The blue roof is to keep rain out of broken roofs. Yeah, those are tarps that FEMA has been giving out, so that people don't lose more of their possessions because it still rains, you know, it's just rains so much in Puerto Rico and any of those tropical islands. Let's see here. How long have we been on? I'm losing my voice. Oh my God, there's 227 of you. Wow. Thank you for joining me. Does it say? What other questions do you guys have? Alarm hookup, not alarm contact. Yes, alarm hookup. Is that you, Tom? Did I say alarm contact? No. Was that me? If I say that, I'm sorry, I apologize. Yes, alarm hookup. Alarm hookup on eBay. Oh, can't find. So Dylanwood says, yeah, it's worth buying one, but you don't have to have one, although it will take care of yourselves in the long run. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. No UPS in Walmart. No in Sam's. The word spread like powder. So this is in Puerto Rico. So, you know, when I went, there was only one left in that one location, right? But I don't know. I did go to the Walmart in a different town that was like the super Walmart, superstore. I don't know. It was like one of those big ones. And I didn't go in search for them, right? But one of the guys that was with us, they said that they asked the sales guys there, and they said that they didn't know or they didn't have them or something. But I actually didn't check myself. So, yeah, I hope that there's more. And they carry them, so it's just going to take a while for them to replenish their stock, I think, there. The thing you plug in your computer to keep from losing power when the grid goes out. Yep, that's what it is. Need an intern, Nova Kane says. You know, I think the time is coming where I will need an intern. Just because there's so many stuff that I don't get to do just because I'm so busy. But I will let you guys know as soon as I'm ready to screen some interns. Well, if you so many parallel like HP Powerwall does, there's only a long one which contact the plus and negative rails, and then daisy chain to the next pack. You can always try it out first without BMS. Yeah, except that you run into the trouble that you're like, if you don't bottom balance your batteries, you're going to kill them if you over discharge them. Are graphene batteries better than 18650? I don't know. I know graphene batteries are available as a hobby for the RC, right? I think they come in the pouch form like lipos and stuff, but I don't know. I think graphene, all that thing does is just gives you the ability to push a lot of power. So we don't need that on Powerwalls. We don't need a tiny battery that can push out a lot of power. We need batteries that can hold a lot of energy, that can store a lot of energy. So in that case, no. Graphene batteries are not better than the current 18650s unless they have a higher energy density. I need 4,500 18650s, and I'm an hour from you in Delaware. There you go. Boom. Deals happening here. Deals are happening. Let's see. An electric car, people. No, okay, what is that? You almost need an intern for chat. I do need an intern for chat because then I don't have to spend time reading and trying to find a good question. In fact, the first times that we did this, my brother was helping me, and he was over there reading them, and then he would like read them over to me, and then I would answer them, right? That worked really good, but my brother is busy these days, you know? He's shooting all kinds of stuff. He works for, he works for a studio here, and then on his off time, he's got a bunch of stuff, and, you know, he helped me shoot some of that TV show while I was in Puerto Rico, so now I gotta go through all this footage and try to make something out of it. Okay, let's see. I'm in Riverside, says Nova Kane. Oh, there you go. You're close by. There are UPS in Amarillo, Texas. Not really helpful for Puerto Rico. Well, there are if you want to buy one and send it to Javier. You know, that happens too. Thank you, Christopher Grady, for the $25. I try to do that. I try to get a bunch of you guys to buy stuff and then send it yourself. But it just, some of you did it. It's just not a lot of you guys did. And so you guys were more willing to just send me cash and then I'd buy it and send it. That worked out better. And so that worked. And I still have, you know, you guys keep donating. And, you know, I got to put together a couple big orders and send them. But I got to find out more from Javier what he needs right now. Because that shipment of 100 solar panels that we were going to get might not happen, then now we're thinking that we're going to have to buy solar panels. Let's see. Any thoughts on the Tesla cars through mountain terrain? Nope. I don't know how good they do. So Kazan Simonson says he'd intern too. Oh, all right. Send me an email. I'll start collecting names so that we can find an intern. Vertical windmill. Any experience, anyone? Yeah, those seem interesting, right? Those are the ones that spin. When I first saw them, I was like, oh man, you could make some power with these, you know. And so I saw them. They weren't windmills. They were actually sculptures, like just some guy was making them, you know, so they look good. You put them in your front yard, and you know, it's just like art or whatever. And I thought, man, you need to throw a motor in there and start producing some electricity. Let's see. Okay, I'm sure. I sure would like to get my hands on one of those hospital UPS units you were touting. Could you put a link? Oh, Richard Hugo. How's it going? Yeah, so there's no link for that. I just have a link that I had on that video, and it goes straight into the guy's PayPal address. So basically, when you click there, you just get charged, you know, whatever it was, $30 or something plus shipping. Because he doesn't have a website, you know, he's just a recycler, right? And so there is no button for like a page or anything. That's all. And I did that because it was becoming too much work for me to accept the money and then send it to him, because that takes a long time when you get like 200 orders, right? So then I have to sit there and be like, oh, here's the address for that guy. You know, it's too much. It was too much work. So I just said, you know, I don't want to accept the money for all this equipment. I'm going to send you straight to you. And that was what we did for that. And yeah, hundreds of those sold. But as I last I heard, he still has a bunch of them. So if you need one of those, boom, order it from him. He'll send it to you. What phone are you using? I'm using the iPhone 10. I got one of those new ones. It's okay. Not the best. It's okay. My app kept crashing over there in Puerto Rico, and I literally almost killed a drone. My drone got disconnected, and I accidentally landed it in the middle of a freeway. In the middle lane of a freeway, an active freeway, for 2 whole minutes. It was sitting there doing nothing, and I didn't know where it was. I didn't have no telemetry, nothing. And then eventually I was like, oh, I wonder if it's just like sitting somewhere. It landed and I just need to go. And so I ran through the motion of like taking off. And when I did that, all of a sudden the telemetry came back, and it was like, oh, it's like 5 foot. It's like 5 foot off the ground. It's you know, it's floating. And so once I like raised it up, then I could see it in the horizon. I'm like, oh, there it is, bring it home, you know, press the home button, and then it came back. I didn't know until that night, once I reviewed the footage, it was literally sitting in the middle of the freeway with cars going, I think were going over it or sideways or something. But that was the whole problem with that, was that new phone. It was crazy. Anyways. It's a cool phone. I don't know if you recommend it yet. You know what I mean? Let's see. You can make vertical wind funnel turbine with bolting aluminum like Japanese version that generates lots of power. I've never seen those. Have you already checked out the channel of Robert Murray Smith? Yes, I think he's building supercapacitors with carbon ink. He's going across the UK in an electric car in the next year in June. I did see a couple of those videos. They were interesting, and that guy is building like batteries from scratch, right? It was pretty interesting. Hey, stop complaining, boy. I will go spend some time with you right now. Wayne is complaining because I'm not paying attention to him. Have you already? No, that's the one. Okay. Get a Samsung, says Isaac. Yeah, maybe. One of these days I might be tempted to get one of those. Except for Android. I'm not sold on Android yet. So, oh, what's up with the highlights on the TV? I think the highlights... Oh, there we go. There we go. I can't believe it took you guys this long. Yeah, that was the that's the thing for the camera that helps me look at what is oh, that didn't help. Did that help at all? Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. So that helps me tell what's in focus. Whatever turns blue, it's in focus, right? So when you're out there in the sun and you can't see and you're like, oh, if someone's eyes are blue, then that's what's in focus. That's just a focus aid. I had it on. Sorry about that. Okay. I think Samsung is Android. It's awesomeness, he says. Yes, I just haven't experienced the awesomeness part of Android yet. I do have one Android device that I don't like very well, but people in the know have said that this is a terrible device to begin with. As an example of Android, this is an LG G6. Yeah, they say that LG phones are just weird when it comes to comparing them to Samsungs. So yeah, maybe I'll get rid of this one and get a Samsung one, and then I will be able to tell better if I like Android or iOS. I mean, iOS works. It's just, you know, a new one. It has bugs, and the new computer has bugs, and the new OS that I installed. It's just becoming. Apple used to not have bugs. Now they have bugs like everything else. All right, guys. I think this is where I'm gonna call it. Thank you for everyone for joining me. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. Stay tuned for some of the videos. This week I am gonna be working on that TV show. I have to put basically a 22-minute video. And it has to be better than my videos on YouTube. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's just what my TV show is gonna be. Just like an extension of my YouTube videos. I don't know. Would you watch one of my YouTube videos as a TV show? It's a new territory. If the TV producers like it, then it gets picked up and it gets made into a TV show, and then I get to do that, you know. I don't know, maybe like 2-3 months out of the year, and then the rest of the time I'm doing YouTube. It's a thing that we're looking at. Hopefully, and it's all about, it's making electric cars, right? So it's, I think for all the guys that were like trying to, it's not going to be super technical. It's going to be more like entertaining, with a lot of the technical stuff, right? But it's just kind of skimming I don't want to bore people, right? This is made for mainstream like audience and stuff. But that's what I'm going to be working on this week. So probably not going to put out a YouTube video for a while, for at least 1, maybe 2 weeks, which is a long time for me, right? But definitely thank you for watching, and thank you for all your support, and thank you for all your donations. Yeah, I hope that we can get the 100th home set up soon so that I can go back to Puerto Rico. I'd love to go there and show you guys the change that we all make, you know, together and stuff. All right, so thank you. We'll watch you, or, you know, I guess you'll see you guys in the next video, as always. All right? Okay, bye. Stop broadcast? Yes. Oh, that didn't do it. Yeah, that didn't do it either. Oh, yes. Stop stream or stop event? Oh, I don't know. What do I do?